We have him. Kai Cenat in custody after a chaotic video game giveaway in NYC. Listen, guys, he did not tell these people to come out here and act like that. He didn't. Let's keep in mind, guys, Kai Cenat's basic fan base is super young children, guys. Let's just be honest here, right? He's the most followed person on Twitch. His income is absolutely insane, right? So what does he do? He's like, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and give away some gift cards, a lot of $100 like iTunes gift cards, along with some PlayStation 5s to young kids, basically. So what they did was they came out here and acted wild in Union Square, guys. They did. I would not put that on him. He's famous. He has a lot of followers across the world, guys, and in New York City, probably even more. Okay. It's not him, bro. All right, let's get it. Let's check it out. Let's see what this takes us.
Interrupt you, NYPD commenting on the chaos that ensued in Union Square. Let's go there now.
All right, it's really quick. Chief Madju, Chief of Department, standing here with me is Chief Kip, Chief of Transit. Earlier today at about 1:30 p.m., the NYPD became aware of a crowd forming in Union Square. It was quickly determined that an influencer was posting on social media about showing up to Union Square and was encouraging all of his followers to come to the park.
Okay.
There was some posts also about giving away some gaming systems.
Right.
At approximately 3 p.m., the post went viral and thousands of people began to arrive at Union Square.
Bro, that's, oh God, guys, listen. Everything that he posts goes viral, guys. That's not really a determining factor. I do say, though, being who he is and the overall reach that he does have, he probably should have went through some type of organization, right? And had an event actually set up rather than saying, hey, listen, I'm going to go ahead and do this in public and tell all my people to come right here to the public, guys. You should have went through the proper channels. Bro, just for the future, bro. No disrespect. I love the fact that you're trying to help the people out. I love that, right? But you're too big for this, right? You're not normal anymore, bro. You can't walk around anymore, bro. You can't do this anymore, bro. And it's a shame, right? Your heart is in it, obviously. His heart is completely here, right? But you're going to have to go through some type of event service next time, or something. Make the tickets free, right? And do all these things, but just make sure you have proper, security and precautions set in place so what happened doesn't happen again, because, bro, it's chaos.
Soon the park and the surrounding streets were overrun with people. They were obstructing both vehicular and pedestrian traffic. The NYPD responded by calling a mobilization in response to the large crowd. As the crowd grew, so did our mobilization. The crowd was swarmed when the influencer finally arrived at the park. Individuals in the park began to commit acts of violence towards the police and the public. There was a construction site within the Union Square Park, and people broke into the park and they began to throw articles that belonged to the construction site: paint cans, bottles, rocks. You had people walking around with shovels, axes, and other tools from the construction trade. And additionally, individuals were also lighting fireworks, and they were throwing them towards the police. They were throwing them towards each other.
And see, this right here, this is not, I don't think Kai Cenat is like the problem here, bro, right? It's the people. It's the amount of young people that just came running out here doing absolute craziness, bro, right? That's really what this looks like, bro.
The influencer, we were able to eventually get him out of the park and remove him for safety reasons. Our officers exercised great restraint despite the aggression that they were met with and the acts of violence they were met with. Ultimately, myself and our leadership team, working in tandem with our department attorneys, did declare this gathering an unlawful assembly. The NYPD offered multiple, and I do mean multiple, opportunities for the crowd to leave. We tried to give them a means of egress for them to exit the park and exit the streets. After numerous warnings and after being assailed hit with rocks and bottles and other debris, we started to make arrests to clear out the park. The total number of arrests is still being tallied at this point, and we're still doing evaluations for some of our members. We did have members that sustained some injuries out here. At this time, we successfully dispersed the park, but we still have crowds mulling around Manhattan, and we have officers following them, preventing them from destroying property, looting, and other things like that. And we'll continue to be out here, and we'll continue to disperse this crowd until they're all gone. We're using our drone technology to help us monitor the situation. Of course, our aviation unit is up there as well.
Wait, so you can use drones in Manhattan, but we can't? That's not fair.
Our office is still being met with some resistance after numerous warnings, and we're still making some additional arrests. This mobilization is ongoing, and as I said before, we will be here until this crowd disperses. At this point, I'll take any questions.
We're going to start off with Josh Einiger, ABC 7. Thank you, Chief.
Josh.
We've heard reports of injured officers. A woman told me she saw a cop getting jumped and beat. Your shirt, we have video of you being attacked. Your shirt shows. Can you talk about injuries to members of the service and to your own experience in that?
Absolutely, Josh. And I believe the woman's account is possibly right, even though I don't know exactly what she's speaking about. Our officers were attacked. We were in there. We were crushed. We were pushed. I had officers on the floor. As you see, I'm a little embarrassed because I'm very dirty right here, but I was in the middle of the crowd. I was hit with multiple objects as well. I think I have a couple of injuries, but I'll figure that out once I have time to think about it.
But in terms of where the officers treated for injuries that you know of?
Yeah, we had one or two officers removed, and we had officers out here. I had officers who got hit and were hurt, but they stayed. They stayed and helped us control this.
We're going to go Associated Press.
Yeah,
Hi, sir.
I'm wondering if there is any kind of action that might be taken or could be taken against the influencer.
Absolutely. We're in contact with the influencer. I have our legal team here. I'm going to have a discussion with our Commissioner Caban in a little bit, and then we'll make a decision there.
But see, and that's the thing right here, guys. I don't know how much this is his fault, right? I understand that he kind of orchestrated the overall engagement, right? But if I, for example, or you, right, were to say, hey, listen, I'm gonna go. I have a couple of PlayStation 5s. Want to give them away, or there's something that I want to give to the public just because I have the extra or the excess, right? And then there are a couple people who come. It's not my fault that but I get it. He's too big for this. Kai, I don't think he even fully realizes how big he actually is. I think this proved how big he actually is, right? Because a lot of people will talk about doing things like this, but we'll get like 10 people to come. You understand that, right? Like 10 people will come. Like Abe and Preach, for example, the channel, they have like what, 2 million subscribers or something like that, guys, right? And they occasionally do shows, and they're not always sold out, guys, right? And I mean, we're talking about like maybe 150 seats, guys. They have 2 million subscribers, but Kai, for some reason, attracts so many people. Guys, you get what I'm saying here? And I don't know if Kai fully knows that he can probably not do anything like this again. Well, obviously he knows never to do this again, but I don't think he knew he was this big before he did this. And this is why I'm kind of like, I don't know if he's very specifically should be responsible for the acts of, honestly, minors. The majority of his fan base are minors. So when I say young people, I don't mean like 20, bro. I mean like probably 13, 14, 15, 16, 7, that age range, right? So I don't know if Kai is responsible for that. It's kind of like a little ignorance on his behalf because I don't think he actually knows how famous he is with the youngsters, guys.
Well, I'm wondering though if there's anything specific that you could be targeting him with.
Well, we'll discuss with our legal department about inciting a riot and other charges.
That's not going to stick, bro. That's not sticking.
How many of them was the extent of the injury? And was he actually giving away PlayStations, or was that just a claim?
That I'm not sure. In terms of the PlayStation. I personally observed young people walking out with their heads bleeding from their heads, bleeding from on their faces. I've seen I personally observed young people having panic attacks, anxiety attacks, you know, asthma attacks. There was multiple, you know, people were suffering out here. It was a lot of people. It was uncontrolled. It took us a while to get it under control, and a lot of young people got hurt.
Was that in confrontation with the police, or was that in the riot?
No, most of it was within the park. The young people in the park throwing objects at each other. They were dancing. They were doing a whole lot of things, but they were hurting each other as they were doing this.
Why were they stealing stuff from the construction site?
That I don't have an answer for.
Matt, we're going to move on. Mark Morales, CNN.
Mark.
What's the estimate as to how many people were here, and where is this YouTuber streaming now? What precinct is it?
We do have him. I don't know exactly which precinct he's in. We have him. In terms of people, there was thousands of people out here. It wasn't hundreds of people.
Yeah, I would expect it.
Mostly young people out here.
All right,
Really young.
Moses, AM New York. This isn't the first time something like this has happened after the giveaway. You guys are going to try and prevent this in the future?
We're going to definitely work on this. This is something we will have an after-action review of in terms of how we responded, how we're monitoring social media, and how we can prevent this in the future. We have encountered things like this before, but it never to this level of dangerousness where young people would not listen to our commands. They were fighting each other, they were hurting each other, and they were turning our attacks on us. We had to defend ourselves, and we had to make arrests.
Guys, listen, look at the base. Again, we keep going back to the same thing. I mean, this is how you completely lose touch with a generation of people. Like, if you don't understand the overall, like, Kai is not, you know, how about this? He doesn't portray himself to be like the ilk of people who were there, right? He doesn't portray himself to be like that, but the people that are like that are attracted to his overall delivery, how he is, and the people that he tends to interview. These are all people that would be appealing to that very specific generation. So, he's going to bring out some of the worst people, and they're young and they're under the age of 18. They have no idea the actions that they're actually doing are even meaningful to any part of their life.
Approximately, Chief, how many people were arrested today?
Quite a few. I don't have an exact answer. We loaded up a city bus. The bus, we had young people attacking the bus, trying to pull people off the bus. We had to send resources there to protect the bus. It was a very dangerous situation.
Anthony DiLorenzo, Pix 11. Chief, the question is, how does something like this happen? There's no monitoring at all, or anything on that this massive influence was coming from. I think this was have a format. Cody doesn't have a format. But was this all on his radar? How does he let it get bigger?
Bro, I wish they had
The
mics.
power of social media and the danger of social media. We do monitor social media. When I go back later on this evening, I will have an after action to determine exactly what our steps were.
Guys, these people, a lot of influencers, YouTubers, Instagram celebrities, TikTokers, Twitch streamers, these people have power that literally is unseen. Right. And that's a thing that a lot of people from, let's say, his generation very specifically are going to have to kind of come to terms with, guys. Was this okay that this happened? No, not at all. Right. But they do have a power that is just unmatched, guys. But all right.
We can't
like, if you don't think
Take one more question, Joe Marino,
the people are not going to respond to this. Bro, give them a mic.
Yes, this was not pre-planned with the police department. This was something that was spontaneous.
That's what I'm talking about.
And as I just said in answering the last question, the power of social media, the danger of social media. Listen, we're not against young people having a good time. We're not against young people gathering. But it can't be to this level where it's dangerous. A lot of people got hurt today.
All right, thank you everyone for your time and attention. Thank you, folks.
Interrupt.
All right, guys. So what I take from this here is what he's saying, at least. If you are famous, don't come outside. Or how about this? Don't say where you're going to be. That's really it. Because a lot of people have been doing all types of like these type of not planned events in Times Square, honestly, for the last, I don't know, 20, 30 years, right? Where a random celebrity pops up in Times Square and then Times Square just goes crazy, right? But I guess it's because it's not Times Square, it was Union Square. Right? I mean, they picked a place that was going to have a lot less overall people, I guess, right? That's the reason for it. But I guess going forward, if you do have the type of reach that Kai has, which are not, they're honest, to be honest, there's not many people. I guess, like, let's say we have, if Mr. Beast says tomorrow, hey, listen, I'm going to go ahead and give money, as in gift cards. I'm going to give $100 gift cards and PlayStation 5s. I'll be at this location in 2 days, right? It'll be equally as ridiculous, but I think Mr. Beast's overall team would honestly talk to the police, say, look, this is what's happening, right? We're going to be here. This is a public event. We're not, as a matter of fact, no. This is a spontaneous thing that's happening, but we're going to be here. So just in case you need to set up some like additional security for the area, please do that, right? That's what I think a different YouTuber with the overall solid legal team would probably do, to be honest. But all right, listen. Hopefully this is a lesson that he has learned. If you want to do an event, make sure you actually do a planned event. You're too famous for this, bro. No disrespect, all respect intended. You know, your meteoric success is absolutely admirable, without a doubt. But you're too famous for this now, bro. Right? And I'm kind of half giving it to him because of that. Maybe he just doesn't know how insanely famous he is. Guys, maybe he doesn't know, specifically with that generation, right? Like, I'm 36, guys, so like my generation, probably not much. Or if anything, you watching this, being I know the age range of my viewers, you probably have never heard of him, right? But trust me, your kid has. Okay, just let you know right now. All right, your kid, or maybe you have a brother that's like 20 or 19 or 8. Trust me, they know who this man is. All right, he's a little too famous to be moving around the way he is, moving around. Honestly, most of the AMP crew, right? Let's call them. They're all a little bit too famous for this, right? But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day and enjoy your day thoroughly.